I studied physics because it's beautiful, like poetry. When people think of physics, they probably think of Newton and an apple. Or maybe Einstein and his famous E equals mc squared. Or maybe they remember how hard physics was and how much they didn't like it. The opposite of poetry. Poetry is beautiful because it packs so much meaning into so few words. In a line or two, a poet can convey how juicy and red and delicious an apple is. Well, what if, in a single line, I could tell you how that apple will fall to Earth, and in that same line also tell you how planets orbit the sun, how light bends around massive objects, and how black holes form? Isn't packing the motion of the entire universe into a single line stunningly gorgeous poetry? That's what Einstein's general theory of relativity is. Newton and other physicists thought that by discovering a new physics principle, they were witnessing the Word of God, who apparently speaks calculus. Unless you understand math, you don't really understand physics. Sure, you can listen to someone describe it, but that's like having someone tell you about sex. You don't really know what it's like until you've had an orgasm. How can I simplify Einstein without losing the essence of the experience? How then can I relate the beauty of physics to someone that doesn't speak the language? Well, let me try this analogy with Maxwell's equations. Have you ever rubbed a balloon across your head and have your hair stand on end? Maxwell's first equation governs that. Ever wrap a wire around a nail to make a magnet? Another equation describes that. Yet another tells us how north and south magnetic field lines connect, and the final equation describes how a moving magnetic field causes electric current. These four equations describe all the electric and magnetic phenomena in the universe and have given rise to much of our techno-modern world. For me, these equations are magnificently beautiful, profound, and mystical. But there's more hidden beauty in these equations. To understand that, suppose you are an art connoisseur and you have a Rembrandt, a Picasso, a Monet, and a Van Gogh. You stare at the paintings, admiring each brushstroke of the masters, appreciating the beauty as I admire Maxwell's equations. One day, maybe after having too much wine, you decide to fool around with the paintings. You twist them, you fold them, you mash them together, and then, bam, out pops the Mona Lisa. You fall to your knees in surprise and awe. The most beautiful work of art coming unexpectedly from four seemingly unrelated beautiful things. Well, that's exactly how I felt when I first derived the equation of light from Maxwell's equations. Like magic, the oscillating electric field creates a magnetic field, and then the oscillating magnetic field creates an electric field, and back and forth forever. It was like Mona Lisa had just popped out of nowhere, wiggling her hips to propel herself across space at the speed of light. That's what physics is like for me. Beautiful, magical, and spiritual, like a brain orgasm.